lunchtime.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut. We're Mike Kelly, Real Estate Jerky Daily. Yeah, that's right. It's a Tuesday, the 30th of December. And this is the last 30th of December for 2025.
You're right.
I know.
You're 100% right.
It took me a while to figure that one out. But anyways, long story short, we're one more day of this year and that's it. And then it'll be 2026 and and then it's going to be 27, then 28, 29, 30.
Yeah. I don't get it. Why does it go so fast? Why does it go by?
When you're younger as kids, you enjoy the whole day and you don't have any your biggest headache is you got homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for jumping all over there.
I did, but I said I was going to get it. So
all right, go ahead. I'm going to let you do your news first.
Hey, look at that. Here's my news. News at 11.
We're trying to stack up. We got a little mustache kind of growing.
I got 481 closed sales per day.
Ooh, through the roof.
December 20th. But look at those pending sales. So it's going to be slow.
Look at the new listings. Look at the new
298.
Those were 700 before.
Yeah, they were even up in the 8s. So not doing so bueno.
It's December. What do you want?
Yeah, we've got some people that are closing the sales. See, 481. So a quarter of the realtors close something.
I don't understand how a quarter of them does it, or a quarter of the people they speak to.
That's what it's got to be, because they can't talk to everybody.
No,
this has got to go.
They call the same people all the time, the top producers. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's going to be.
So they actually got 4 people, 2 top producers, 1 medium, and then 1 really bad. Or actually 1 that doesn't do anything, 1 that does 1 transaction a month, and then 2 top producers, and that's how you get your numbers.
I think listings will be up this year. I see a resurgence of new listings coming on the market here first of the year.
You know why? Because people are moving out of California. They just had it with California.
Done.
I want to get into some of the news, but before I do that, you heard about the $76 billion they can't find in California?
Yeah, and yes, I also heard
it's a red wave. It's a red people just looking at trying to cause problems.
Yeah. That Newsom's going to give up his fight for the $4 billion or something like that.
Yeah, because they don't. Here's the whole thing, and the problem, and we'll get into my stuff in a second, but I just said this is ridiculous. You look at Minnesota at $9 billion, California $76 billion. They don't know where it's at. They're not saying it's been all fraud, but it's waste, fraud, and mismanagement. But pandemic relief fund tracking, homelessness response expenditures, infrastructure. Yeah, we know where a lot of that went on that high-speed rail, and social programs misallocations. The problem with this is what we've always say: when you have one party in power, and they just restructured it so that there's only 5 Republicans out of 9 that we had eventually. That tells you they're trying to hide. Whether or not they're trying to hide something, it just seems like they're trying to hide something because they don't want people looking at things, and that's a problem. We need to have accountability no matter who's in power, period. And to say that we can't do it because it's racist, that's how they got away with the Somalia thing. They've been looking at that thing since 2015, but when they looked at it through that whole Biden, they were like, we're going to say you're racist.
Okay.
And so that's why so everybody backed off. They even have emails. That's how bad it was. That's what they said in the emails.
We're just going to say you're racist.
Yes. And then so everybody backed away. That was how powerful that whole statement was for so long. All right, enough about politics for right this moment. All right, we had 2 reports coming out today. The FHFA House Price Index for October, which looks at conforming loan limit on homes. So that's 835,000 now, something. I don't always remember. I let the computer tell me, because why do we need to remember stuff that it remembers? So that came at it's up 4%. 0.4% monthly. Year over year it came in at 1.7%, which was lower than the 1.8% they thought it was going to be at.
Okay.
Case-Shiller looks at all loans on single-family homes and real estate, and that national index went up to 1.4% year over year, about 1/10 greater than they thought it was going to be like it was in September.
Okay.
But if you look at the indexes, it's kind of showing that slightly upward is slowing trend, the trend in appreciation. The biggest problem is with this percentages. This is nationwide. Well, thank you.
Nationwide on your side?
No, nationwide's not on your side, because the problem with nationwide on your side, you forgot my cut. You got states like Florida and Texas and some of these places who their appreciation was going down, so it takes down the other states that are going up, because they were some appreciation in the western states and other stuff like that. I know Seattle and certain places like that are having trouble, but I'm just saying, when we give you nationwide numbers, well, hello everybody on YouTube and everywhere else.
Wow.
The problem with that is, if you use nationwide numbers for where you're at, you should only look regional, local, where you're at, and see how you're doing, because it could be totally different. Like, we could be at 10% and the nation number would be at 1.3.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't take there's lies, damn lies, and then statistics. And that's what I'm giving you.
You got these local numbers that skew the whole report.
Are you doing okay there?
No, falling.
And you can't get up.
I can't get up.
See, the Dow's down 95.
Not
and
again.
I think, and a bond. See, the rates are 2 basis points worse, and the 10-year sitting at 4.118. So we're just hovering right here, waiting for things to show how great they are, so that the rates can get worse.
Right. So they can deprove.
And that's what people don't understand. We're going to show next year is going to be so productive. People are going to have so much money from the tax benefit. Not everybody, but a lot of people will. And they're going to see jobs, and everybody's making more money. Well, when that happens, we can't lower interest rates unless the Fed just keeps buying and buying and buying.
Right.
And there's an easy way to fix this. I don't know why they haven't, where they allow everybody in the United States to actually buy those the same way other countries do, that are tax free. And then we would have more people buying those bonds and hold them, and that would make the rates lower.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you say right. What else was there? Realtor.com is trying to get involved with Let America Build. It revives the supply push. Yeah. They're saying that we are 4 million housing units shy. Remember how you don't really know, because it's all over the place?
Yeah, we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back and say, you know what? 4 million is just to keep it at the same rate we are now with appreciation. It's probably 8 million we really need to offset all the stuff we haven't done.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
This is a 25-year problem. There's the word I was looking at. It's a 25-year problem we're going to have. And that's why I was telling some people who are doing reverse mortgages who want, I'm like, hey, don't worry about whether or not you have money left over. You're going to have appreciation, which has never been seen before for 25 years going forward.
Yeah, I can't imagine us ever really getting out of it.
No, because it's going to take, with California's policies, with the people in charge, it's not going to happen. Look at, they showed a house down in the Palisades being built. It's the only one being built.
Yeah, that's true.
And the stuff that they have to do for the ones by the coast, they all have to have their own septic. Right? They're not sewered.
Right.
And so they got to build their own like holes. It's like a hole of a ship inside. So if something happens, it leaks inside of the thing, not out to which I get it. But all before, they didn't have those.
Right.
They had the old stuff, but now they're forced it. So a septic system for them is like $1 to $2 million, not even starting on the house.
Craziness.
Yeah. And so that's what you're running into.
It's what happened?
What happened? What do you mean?
Oh, I went away.
Yes, you did. Where'd you go?
I don't know. I was just sitting here.
Where'd you go, Mike?
I don't know. Remove.
You're not down at the bottom. It's like your camera's off.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna just finish the show then.
Finish it out. I can be the voice.
The voice of reason?
Yeah, I know about reason.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to you.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Unplug your camera and plug it back in. On top there. Just go up the top there and just there you go, old man. I'm gonna keep talking while you're doing that. All right, we went over the whole issue about $76 billion in California. They're talking about saving for a down payment in 2025. They're looking back. Realtor.com reports that 2025, the average household needs 7 years to save for a down payment, which is down from 12 years in 2022. I can't believe that. In 2020, you needed 12 years, and now you only need 7. Did you come back? Nope.
I think so. Hold on.
Nope. There you
go.
Mute.
And I didn't mute it.
Damn, that was loud in my ears.
I don't know why that did that.
I went to sleep on you. All right. So back to what I was saying, saving for a down payment. If they actually say it's faster now to save for a down payment than it was before, I could see, I don't know, we had 3% back then. And then the biggest thing since the downturn, I mean, the pandemic, was the 5% down on multifamily. That's
Yeah.
huge. I don't really know how they're coming up with it. So much easier. They only have to save for 7 years.
7?
Yeah, that's what I said. The average household needs to save 7 years for a down payment, where it used to be 12 years in 2022. In 2020, well, maybe because they had to come up with so much money to fight off the appreciation and the fighting of, I got 20 extra grand to put down. I got this. If it doesn't come in for value, I can make up the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are some weird years, and it's interesting that those homeowners who won the battle and got the home are bitching about it now.
Well, of course,
You
because
made
they
me
didn't have a
overpay.
choice.
No, you made the choice to overpay.
But they just felt like they had no choice in the matter. They
Yeah.
had to rush through things, and they did. That's how it was back then, and it was crazy. It was crazy everywhere. I mean, Seattle was worse. Up in, I talked to people up there.
Yeah.
They didn't really, when they waived everything, and so they only had like a 4-page contract.
Well, and did they get inspections in California? At least people got inspections.
No, they didn't. And I'm like, well, why didn't they just get in? Just because they couldn't, at least they knew what they're walking into.
Exactly.
And the worst case, if it was going to be $50,000 to fix something, they could walk away with, maybe paying $3,000 in their deposit. But they didn't have that other, because I know a place right now somebody's trying to buy, and what they need to do is just ridiculous. Now we know why it's been sitting. Yeah, and these people knew, but they didn't tell anybody. I'll tell you afterwards.
Oh, that's criminal.
No, it's just people. You can't get anything over. Once inspections are in, the only difference is like a home inspection. Does that follow the property now?
No. Sadly, no. A pest inspection will for about 6 months. A roof inspection will not, and a home inspection will not.
Yeah, well, they should make it to where it does.
It would be interesting.
Because this is what the guy was trying to get. I go, they're probably, goes, this is on another transaction. I'm
Okay.
like, conventional, it doesn't matter. They can just I can go get a different appraisal. And because the guy was like, well, I have all this issues. How can I force these people to do something? I said, well, you could have left it on the table and then the appraiser came by. However, then they would have called it, but then they would tell you go get a different appraisal.
Yeah.
But that was a pest thing. But there's just no way unless it's FHA, and then they could just say, we're not taking any FHA deals.
Right. There's ways around everything. And it's really sad when sellers won't participate a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I have another one where it's a buying from family members, and the appraiser came out there, and we're going FHA because it saved them $300 a month. And I'm not going to get any more than that. And there's a trash can in the ground where I guess these drains in the middle of the grass goes into, and then eventually as it fills up, it goes out to the front. Well, it's just like some kid could fall in there and drown some, toddler.
Yeah.
Like health and safety. And they're like, well, what do we do? I'm like,
fill it up.
Yeah. I said, just pull it out and fill it up. Well, what you could do is something like that is you could put gravel and rocks and everything in there, and then cover that with sand and then dirt on top of it. And you have the same system, but not where the kid can fall through.
Yeah. It becomes a French train.
That's what I was trying to
garbage can.
Yeah. I was like, whoever did that one is like, we got this extra garbage can. And
well, they used to do locking lids on those garbage cans and have them in the ground. And I don't know why, but maybe it keeps the bears away.
I don't know, but you step on it. The guy the appraiser fell through it. Yeah, he fell through it. I'm like, well, you could put a fence around it and lock it, or I said, because they're calling for health and safety issues, so they have it the city see if it's to code, and I'm like, just fill it in and rip it out.
It's grandfathered in. It wouldn't be coded.
No, it's
today.
not grandfathered in. A whole trash can on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, it was there before, but came before.
And it's not. There's
codes.
no grand fan. No, it didn't.
Yeah, it came before codes.
Yeah, this was built in the 70s. There was codes in the 70s.
Probably not on trash cans in the ground. Up there, you can do
that's a
whatever
newer trash can, so something tells me it's not that. It's plastic.
Oh,
it's not a metal trash can from the 70s.
What the heck would they even do that for?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I thought maybe it's for fish or something. Go get your trash can fish.
Yeah.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Only when it fills up with water.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, that's really all I have for today.
Yeah, that's all I had for today.
So again, things are still appreciating,
especially in California.
Yeah, and that's, and the affordability in California has always been bad. It's been bad since I was a kid.
Yeah.
My parents came from Colorado, couldn't afford a house here. We rented and never owned. And then my mom, when she got remarried, owned on, Roseburg, where you sold.
Yeah.
And they had to go through everybody to try to get that loan back when I was a kid. I was gone. I was in the Navy.
You were protecting our United States.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Chasing something.
Yeah. Wasn't bear.
I was in San Diego. We'll just leave it alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Fun days.
Well, I'm just saying. So we've always had an issue when people go, like, affordability is a problem. Affordability has always been a problem in California.
Yeah.
You got to make good money to afford anywhere down.
It always will be a problem. Yeah.
It's only a problem until you get in.
And then when the government talks about affordable, they're talking about rentals.
Because they want us. People want, 67% needs to be homeowners, and the 30, it leaves you 33% that could be renters, but it's going to be more than that. It's Pottersville.
Yeah, we don't
want those at all.
Not a bit. All right, kids.
Anything else you got?
I got nothing. No more.
All right. I don't know what tomorrow.
Actually, I have something for tomorrow's kind of interesting, but
okay.
I'll keep it a secret till tomorrow.
All right. You don't want to give a hint?
No hints. Has something to do with something.
All right. That's great.
There's the hint.
All right. Again, back to this. People need to wake up in blue states and red states. If there's any fraud, it can happen in both states, but California is happening because there's no checks and balances with the people in charge.
Exactly.
Just like in Minnesota, there's no checks. Tim Wall. That's why there's a Walz Act. Did you hear about that?
I heard a little something about it.
Yeah. It's like Nancy Pelosi Act.
Exactly.
They're naming whatever the problem is they're naming it after the person
that created it.
Yes, exactly. So,
yeah, I love his excuses to why
we've been trying
fraud.
to. Yeah, well, maybe we've been working on this for years to make sure that it is not seen as fraud.
There you go. It's fraudulent, but it doesn't look like it, so we're not going to worry about it.
Well, look at all of them. They all take money somehow. Even the vet who has the patch. I can't think of his name. That's the congressman from
Crenshaw.
Texas. Yeah, he's worth so many millions of dollars.
And something.
It's the doing the stock thing, and same with you got what's her name, the Somalia lady who is worth 30 million now, who was negative 74,000 when she came in. There's a problem. It needs to be fixed. Stocks, they need to not be able to do stocks or tell people about stocks. It needs to go back to insider trading the way it should have been.
Well, hey, little Martha Stewart did some time for insider trading.
And she didn't make millions of dollars.
No, she came out on the other end pretty good.
Yeah, the whole reason. Yeah, Snoop Dogg helped her. Yeah. You need some drugs while you're in there?
Yep. Yeah, I'll supply you.
All right, we're going to go before we're here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
Make it a great day.
Guys. Thanks
See you
for being
tomorrow.
here. Appreciate you. And we'll be back tomorrow.
Bye.
And then we're gone from Thursday and Friday, and we'll be back next week.
Yep.
All right. Make it a great day. Bye.